What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from sneakerfollows.com, and in today's video, I'm going to go over the November 2025 Air Jordan and Nike release dates. Now, before I break down this video, would greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, release dates do change, they change often, so it's possible that some of these dates do get moved around, but in the case that it does, I will be updating you in future news videos as well. I'll update you on the website at sneakerfollows.com. Now, how I'm doing this video is just like the other ones, but if you're new here, I start off with Nike, I move to Jordan brand, but to make things easier, I have timestamps down below, not just for the two brands, but the specific shoe. So if you want to learn more about it, just hit the description. You can see all the timestamps down there. And now let's get into these releases. Starting this video off with Nike, and as you guys know, there's always a ton of drops on the first. But for November, we also have quite a few. It seems that we have a bit more than usual, but the first pair is the Kobe Bryant Nike Air Force 1 Low in triple black. Now this pair is a lot like the cargo khaki, the purple iteration, and the white pair. It features snakeskin across the upper, covered in all black. And overall, this is a clean pair. I really do like this shoe. The white pair really wasn't for me. The purple is solid. The cargo khaki is nice as well, but this is nice. But if you're a fan, they drop on November 1st, and the retail price will be $120. Probably the perfect timing to drop these two Nike Dunk Lows, and both pairs will feature GORE-TEX. So the first pair comes dressed in light bone, mink brown, and cell, and then the second will probably be a favorite amongst many. And this pair is known as triple black, but the official colorway is black, anthracite, and off noir. If you're interested in one or both, they drop on November 1st, and the retail price will be $155 each. A few additional Nike Dunk Low releases, and the next pair is the red CROC iteration, and this will be a women's exclusive. The overall look has a premium feel. It features a crocodile-inspired upper, all covered in team red. The official colorway is team red, dark team red, and metallic gold, but the pair also has gold detailing, which lands on the tongue branding and the heels. This pair will drop on November 1st, and the retail price is $135. As you're starting to see, November is bringing us a handful of triple black or mostly black sneakers. Next up, part of the CROC pack, we have the Nike Dunk Low Black CROC. So the overall look resembles that of the red CROC pair. It features black throughout, crocodile-inspired uppers, it has a shiny finish to it, and then we have gold on the branding. This pair will also drop on November 1st for $135. In November, Nike is introducing a new pair part of the SHOX line. This is the Nike SHOX Z. Now, this appears to be a women's exclusive. We have 5 pairs scheduled to drop on November 1st, and all of these pairs are a women's exclusive. Now, the upper is a bit modified. It does feature a wave pattern and is constructed with mesh. It does feature shocks in the heel. Well, it's just one shock. Typically, we see 2. But as for the upcoming colorways, we have one pair dressed in pink sickle and black. The next is dressed in white, varsity red, dark charcoal, and metallic gold. The third features dark team red, mystic dates in black. And then the fourth feature is black and university red. So all pairs will drop on November 1st, and the retail price is $135 each. Dropping in November, we have a new colorway of the Nike Pegasus Premium. This pair is known as Cave Purple. Now, the official colorway is Cave Purple, metallic silver, and black, but what stands out about this pair is the splatter detailing that runs across the upper as well as the midsole. I still haven't tried out a Pegasus Premium, but eventually I will. I just want to wait until they go on sale, and it's a dope colorway. Hopefully they eventually wind up at my local outlets. But this pair will drop on November 1st, and the retail price will be $220. We've seen images of the Eric Koston Nike SB Air Max 95 for some time now. A lot of people are waiting for this release, and the official colorway is Obsidian, Speed Yellow, Midnight Navy, and Summit White. Now, the good news is we have a starting release date, and this will be for skate shops. So, like always, skate shops will get them first on November 1st. That is the expected release date for now. I haven't seen any skate shops with raffles open, but then again, I'll be honest, I haven't really been looking. Typically, on Instagram, I get flooded with it. But either way, They're going to drop at skate shops first, and then a wider release is expected to take place on the Sneakers app in November. We just don't know the specific date at the time of recording. Also, the retail price will be $190. Lately, we've been seeing a handful of colorways of the Nike KD18 inspired by family members of Durant, and the next pair is the KD18 Wanda Pratt. Now, this pair is for his mom, and the official colorway is Midnight Turquoise, Kinetic Green, Mint, and Phantom. Now, the colorway is nice, and as a tribute to his mom, it has WP embroidered on the inside of the tongues. This pair will also drop on November 1st, and the retail price will be $155. In my opinion, this is one of the nicer colorways of the Nike LeBron 23, and the pair is known as Grand Opening. The official colorway is white, university red, black, and metallic gold. Now, this is a tribute to the Air Zoom Generation first game that LeBron wore on his first game against the Sacramento Kings on October 29th, 2003. The pair will drop on November 1st, and the retail price will be $210. In November, we had the NFL Nike Air Max 90 Rivals pack dropping. This pack includes 8 colorways representing 8 different teams. I do believe 1 or 2 of these may have already released, but quite a few retailers are dropping them all on November 1st. Each pair also comes with the team's logo. The first pair is the Seattle Seahawks, and it comes dressed in white, college navy, and action green. The next is the New England Patriots. That pair features white, college navy, and university red. The Buffalo Bills will have their own pair dressed in white, black, and old royal. We also have the Miami Dolphins dressed in white, pitch blue, and turbo green. We got a pair dropping for the Los Angeles Rams in white, pitch blue, and hyper royal. The Arizona Cardinals pair is dressed in white, black, and tough red. Then we have the San Francisco 49ers pair, which is dressed in white, black, and gym red. And then the last pair is for the New York Jets, and it's dressed in white, black, and sport green. All pairs will drop on November 1st, and the retail price will be $145 each. Ja Morant is releasing the Nike Air Force 1 Low. This pair is known as Sundial. It's also known as Let Me Be Ja. The official colorway is Sundial, Black, and Cobalt Bliss. Now, the reason for the nickname is due to the fact that it has Let Me Be Ja on the medial side. This pair will drop on November 2nd, and the retail price will be $110. We have a simple and clean Nike Air Max DNA dropping in November. This pair is being called Metallic Silver and Black, obviously due to the colorway, which is Metallic Silver, Black, and Metallic Silver. It's not a bad looking shoe, but if you do like them, I would be patient. They'll probably wind up going on sale. But the pair is going to drop on November 4th, and the retail price will be $220. So far, I feel like Giannis's latest signature shoe, the Freak 7, they have been dropping in some really solid colorways. Now, the next pair is known as Double Take. I'm not sure the reason for the nickname, but I really do like this pair. Now, the official colorway is black, cell, and luminous green. They're going to drop on November 5th for $115. In November, we had the Turbo Green Nike Ja 3 dropping. Now, this is also being called Scratch or Scratch 3.0, which is a nod to the Memphis Grizzlies throwback jerseys. I've always been a fan of the Scratch series. I think each pair looks really good. Overall, I think the Ja 3 is way better than the Ja 2. But for this pair, it features a Turbo Green, Black, White, and University Red colorway. This pair will drop on November 5th, and the retail price will be $125. Dropping on the same day, we have 2 colorways of the Nike Air Max Waffle. One is known as Cell Gum, the other is known as Matte Olive, and that's obviously due to the colorway. So the first pair features a Cell, Black, Gum, and medium brown color combination, while the second is dressed in Matte Olive, Gum Dark Brown, Legion Brown, and Black. So last year, that's when this model was introduced. We did see some more colorways earlier in the year, but they took a break. But now we're going to see 2 more drop on November 5th, and the retail price is $145 each. It seems that every month we get at least 1 new colorway of the Nike A1. Honestly, it's more like a handful. But dropping on November 6th, we have the Nike A1 Royal Flame. Now this pair features a bright crimson, light crimson, university red, and pink foam colorway. This is another shoe that eventually I will pick up. I like the design. I think it looks great. This colorway is definitely solid, but I think she's had some better colorways drop in the past. But if you want to grab them, they drop on November 6th, and the retail price will be $115. In one of my previous news videos, I went over the Stranger Things Nike collection, and one of the pairs part of that collection is the Nike Dunk Low. Now, when I went over the whole collection, I didn't have a release date for any of the pairs. We just knew that they were going to drop this holiday season. However, the Nike Dunk Low recently popped up on the Sneakers app, giving us a release date. It's the only pair from the collection that has a release date, at least at the time of recording. Of course, that will change. Apparently, there was supposed to be 2 colorways, but so far only one has leaked, and one is officially set to drop. But this pair features a Phantom, Midnight Navy, College Gray, Varsity Red, Lemon Drop, and Dark Smoke Gray colorway. More than likely, this pair will be limited. So far, I've only seen that the Sneakers app has them, and they're scheduled to drop on November 6th. The retail price will be $155. Another pair that I feel is pretty interesting that will also be returning is the Nike Air Max 95 Zip, and this pair is known as Loyal Blue. Now, the official colorway is Loyal Blue, El Dorado, Bright Crimson, and Hyper Crimson. Now, the model was originally released in the early 2000s. It was known as the Air Max Z, obviously short for Zip. At the time, it was a women's exclusive release. This time around, it won't be. Perfect for the fall and winter season, the pair does feature a zipper shroud, which covers the laces in the tongue. I'm not too sure if they're actually waterproof or not. It doesn't mention that on Nike sneakers, but that suede can't be good for rain, so probably not wear these in the rain. But if you want to grab them, they drop on November 6th, and the retail price will be $210. I'm not going to lie, I'm really surprised that we're seeing more Nike Book 1 releases. Yes, I know we had the What The dropping in December, and I kind of thought that would be the last pair to be released before we move on to the Book 2. Yes, it will be the last pair, but I mean, I didn't think we had stuff in between. But we have one pair, well, 2 pairs in this video. One was supposed to drop last month, I believe, but it got delayed. And this pair is the Nike Book 1 AURORA. Don't get me wrong, it's a solid colorway, and I do like the Book 1. I just feel that Devin Booker has had the longest run for his first signature shoe of any athlete. I don't know another one. Yes, I know Anthony Edwards on his AE1 also had a long run of releases, but not like the Book 1. But if you like this pair, it features a Wild Grape multicolor in medium ash colorway. The swoosh has a lenticular design, and what's really dope is on the tongue, you could see colors underneath the purple mesh. That also lands on the toe as well. But this pair will drop on November 7th, and the retail price will be $145. We have another Nike LeBron 23 dropping in November, and this pair is known as Best in Class. Now, this pair celebrates LeBron's 2003 NBA draft night. He was selected first overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the official colorway is University Red, Metallic Gold, Racer Blue, and Black. Now, what's dope about this shoe is that the designs on the upper will be 3M reflective. They have metallic gold detailing, and then on the heels, we have an apple. And that's a tribute to Madison Square Garden in New York, where the draft took place. It also looks like there's something on the inside of the tongue, but I can't make out what it is. So maybe we'll get some better images and we can figure what that is. But this pair will drop on November 7th, and the retail price will be $210. We have 2 colorways of the Nike Air Trainer HUARACHE dropping on the same day. The first pair is known as Baroque Brown. Now, the official colorway is Black, Smoky Blue, Velvet Brown, and Baroque Brown. Now, images of this pair has been going around for months. Actually, they were rumored to drop earlier in the year, but it never happened. However, if you're a fan of this one, they drop on November 7th, and the retail price will be $170. Alright, so the second pair dropping on the same day is the Nike Air Trainer HUARACHE in triple black. See, we got another pair in mostly black or all black dropping in November. I feel like people will probably gravitate to this pair a bit more. Easy to wear, match with. You can wear them to work or wherever. I can kind of see myself gravitating towards triple black releases, especially for a pair that I just plan on, wearing and not fully caring about if I'm going to mess them up or not. But yeah, if you want to grab these, they drop on November 7th, and the retail price will be $170. The Trainer HUARACHE, the retail price has really gone up on these. The Nike Air Max UPTEMPO 95 has had a great run as far as dope colorways releasing. And in November, we have a classic colorway returning known as Black Vault. and obviously the nickname is due to the colorway, which is simply black and Volt. Now, the last time we saw this pair drop was in 2019, and they're returning again to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Air Max UPTEMPO 95. We're also going to see more colorways drop next year, but I really like this pair. I like the fact that it has a lot of black. The patent leather on the mudguard is really nice, and then the Volt accents make this pair pop, at least in my opinion. I remember there was a time where the Air Max UPTEMPO 95, when they released, they were super discounted. If there's any chance of it happening for this pair, that's probably when I'll pull the trigger on them. But they're scheduled to be released on November 14th, and the retail price will be $160. All right, for this Nike Book 1, it's known as Solar Red, and they were supposed to drop in October. However, that never happened, and now they're going to be released in November. I mean, maybe a few places dropped them back in October, but what I'm seeing for the most part is a lot of release calendars have these scheduled to drop in November now. Now, as you know, this pair is a tribute to the Solar Red Air Max 95 OG, which also returned in October. This pair was supposed to release before the Air Max 95, but for some reason it got delayed, and now we're here. Now, the official colorway is Wolf Gray, Photon Dust, Anthracite, and Cool Gray. They're going to drop on November 18th, and the retail price will be $145. We have a third Nike LeBron 23 dropping in November. This pair I do like, but I hate the name of him, at least the nickname. The shoe is known as Bubble Boy. Now, this is a tribute to when COVID was going on. The NBA was playing inside what was called a bubble at Walt Disney World, and LeBron and the Lakers won the NBA Finals. Now, the official colorway on this pair is Cool Gray, Metallic Silver, Vivid Purple, and Multicolor. Now, the reason why I hate this nickname, and I really hope LeBron didn't pick the nickname for this shoe and somebody at Nike picked it, but dude, you're 40. You're the same age as me. Actually, I'm 41. I would not want to be called boy in any manner, unless it's by my dad or something. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I know when I wrote the article, I was thinking, man, I would not want to be called that in any way, or even have a shoe nicknamed after that. I don't know, maybe I'm just going over the top, but it's still a nice colorway. I do like them. They're going to drop on November 18th, and the retail price will be $210. This pair, well, the overall model had a lot of potential in my opinion, and it's the Nike Air Flightposite 1 in Midnight Navy. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Flightposite 1, but as you guys know in previous videos, I've been very vocal about it. I hate what they've done to the medial side of the midsole. It's flat, it's almost non-existent. If they had fixed that, this would 100% be a colorway that I would be going after. But getting towards the end of November, we had the release of the Nike Air Flightposite 1 in Midnight Navy. The official colorway is Multicolor in Midnight Navy. As you can see on the Foamposite upper, it somewhat shifts in colors. We have shades of purple and whatnot, but on the upper, on the zipper shroud, we have Midnight Navy. That also lands on the shank plate with a metallic finish, and then we have a blue rubber outsole. If you're looking to pick these up, they drop on November 21st, and the retail price will be $250. From Nike, this has to be my number one pickup in November, and it's the return of the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Pearl. Now, these might actually get delayed, but I'll give you that information in a moment. The official colorway on these is Pearl White, White, Black, and True Red. This is an OG colorway, first dropped in 1997, and on court, they were worn by Tim Duncan amongst others. However, what probably the most people remember or even talk about is from the film He Got Game. That film starred Denzel Washington and Ray Allen, and during the film, Ray Allen wore the shoes. We would see the first retro take place in 2002. We saw another release take place in 2009 as a House of Hoops exclusive. 1 year later in 2010, the Pearl would release again, but this time available at more retailers. Now, the last time we saw them release was in 2015. The pair was part of the Class of 97 pack. So alongside the Foamposite Pro, the pair also came with the Zoom Hawk Flight. Both pairs were worn by Ray Allen in the film He Got Game. So just wanted to run down the history. Can't forget about the history, it's super important, at least to me it is. Now, a lot of release calendars have this pair scheduled to drop on November 28th. However, what I've heard is that it's possible it could get delayed to December 5th. Hopefully that isn't the case, but like always, I wanted to give you guys that heads up. I've seen a decent amount of release calendars have this pair listed. Since the release is so late in the month, It's even possible that more release calendars have these listed as we get closer, or they're holding off to list them on December 5th. There is some hype for the shoes. It's a classic. Personally, I don't think they're going to sell out right away, but I do think in time, eventually, you'll no longer see them on shelves. But again, expected to drop on November 28th, could get delayed to December 5th. I will be updating you in future sneaker news videos, and the retail price will be $240. Expected to drop on the same day as the FOAMPOSITE Pro Pearl, we have the Nike VAPORPOSITE Pro Pearl. So this is a cleated version, and the official colorway is white pearl, true red, black and white. Now, if the FOAMPOSITE Pro Pearl gets delayed, I'm not sure if these will also. These could still drop on the 28th, and then the FOAMPOSITE pair drops on the 5th. I'm not sure how many people honestly care about this shoe who watches this video, but if you do, let me know down below. But for now, expected to drop on November 28th, and currently I don't have a retail price. For the holiday season, Nike is dropping another 3D printed sneaker using a classic Air Max model. As most of you know, we saw the Nike Air Max 1000 drop a couple months back. We're still seeing more colorways. However, in November, we had the first colorway of the Nike Air Max 9500 dropping, and this pair is dressed in black and volt. The official colorway is simply black and volt. It does feature a similar Air Max unit as the Air Max 95. The uppers have a lot of waves to it. That also reminds me of the Air Max 1000. But overall, honestly, I kind of like the model. I definitely like the colorway. And as for the release info, as of now, they're expected to drop at Zellerfeld on Black Friday, November 28th, and the retail price is $250. Now, it is possible they drop on the Sneakers app as well, but at the time of recording, they're not on the Sneakers app. But the good thing is that the images shown here, they are the official, so there's a possibility they still could drop on the Sneakers app. But I'm going to talk about these shoes more in the upcoming sneaker news video, and hopefully by then, I'll have confirmation if they'll be on the Sneakers app or not. Lately, it's been rough collecting sneakers. Prices continue to rise, and with the amount of dope drops coming, it can get expensive. Let's not forget that sometimes we see a pair of sneakers available overseas, but if we buy, we get charged $100 just for shipping due to tariffs. The hardest part in life is just finding the extra cash. This is where our sponsor, SAGA Metals Corporation, could help. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. As you guys know, I talk about sneakers, but thanks to today's sponsor, SAGA Metals Corporation, I can fill you in on what they are about. What you might not be aware of, nations are scrambling to secure access to critical minerals. Right now, SAGA Metals Corporation is mobilizing a major drill program in Labrador targeting titanium, vanadium, and iron ore, 3 essential minerals of the clean energy future which we all can appreciate. SAGA Metals Corp, TSX-V, SAGA, /OTCQB, SAGMF, is moving fast toward a major milestone. The campaign targets a strike zone rich in titanium, vanadium, and iron, critical minerals powering the global energy transition. Investors are taking notice because the company controls an entire 160 square kilometers intrusive complex in a safe North American jurisdiction, has proven mineralization, and is now stepping up exploration to define large-scale resources. As the world scrambles for secure supplies of titanium and vanadium for EVs, batteries, and green steel, SAGA's fully financed drill program could unlock major value. With drilling imminent and momentum building toward the first resource estimate, this could be your moment to check out SAGA Metals before the story breaks open. A partnership with Rio Tinto further strengthens SAGA's position in the global green energy transition. Rio Tinto is one of the most successful global mining companies. Under the operation agreement, Rio Tinto Exploration Canada has the right to acquire a 51% interest in SAGA Metals' legacy lithium project over 4 years by meeting specific conditions. With anything in life, please do research on the company before investing. For further information, we have added all the links to the company's websites and our disclaimer in the video description below. I would like to thank SAGA Metals Corporation for making this video possible. And now, let's get back to the news. Moving on to Jordan brand, and the first pair I need to talk about, unfortunately I don't have a specific release date for, is the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG in military blue. Before doing this video I did ask around, but I did not receive the information back in time before dropping this video. Now, as some of you know, they were supposed to drop in September, but on the day that they were supposed to release, nothing happened, and then Travis Scott posted on his Instagram, well, it was the Cactus Jack Instagram, that the shoes would be releasing in November, but since then, we haven't heard any additional details. Now, rumors started to circulate early on that this pair would not drop on the sneakers app. Unfortunately, I don't have any additional information if that's true or not. Hopefully, the reason for the delay is that they will drop on the sneakers app. Now, I am using this tool to see about stock on the back end, and it's been jumping around quite a bit. However, I am seeing for the US sneakers app that size 7 and 7.5 is loaded on the back end. The stock says very low. Unfortunately, I don't have specific numbers, but I will say that is a good sign. Now, in Japan, they had quite a few sizes loaded months back, but all of the sizes have been removed, so there's nothing loaded on Sneakers Japan, but we have size 7 and 7.5 for the US. Now, I haven't heard of any boutiques that are planning on getting these. Of course, that could change. So far, what appears to be at least confirmed is that on Travis Scott's website. You know, if I had to guess, I would believe that they would at least drop on the sneakers app. I'm not sure if it'll be in the US, but some part of the world, they would drop on the sneakers app. But as you know, this will be a limited release. This is not going to be a GR. You won't be able to go into your Foot Locker and get your size. You guys already know that. Now, even if they do drop on Travis Scott's website, boutiques, and the sneakers app, they're still going to be limited. They're going to sell out. It's a Travis collab. And then you add Fragment on top of that. It's a perfect recipe for a hype release. Now, don't get me wrong. They're dope. I like them. But I can't see myself paying the resale price for them because I'm going to assume it's going to be over $1,000, probably more than that. But yeah, hopefully if you're trying to grab a pair, you'll be able to pick up your size. But I will have more information in the upcoming sneaker news video, one of the upcoming ones. We should be getting more information soon. But when they do drop, the retail price will be $155. From Jordan brand, we have a handful of releases that will take place on November 1st, and the first pair I'm going to talk about is the Jordan Tatum 4 Bread. Now, this pair is also being called Bloodline. No, it has no association with the wrestler. I forget his name. I'm not a huge fan of wrestling, as most of you know. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know, but this pair features a black, university red, and white colorway. So they're going to drop on November 1st, and the retail price will be $130. One of the nicer colorways of the Air Jordan 40 is the Chicago pair, aside from the mashup pairs or the hybrids, whatever you want to call them, that I talked about in my last news video. Now, those ones are really nice, but this pair is inspired by the Air Jordan 1. It features a swoosh on the side. We have Nike Air branding on the tongue. The tongue also somewhat reflects that of the Air Jordan 1 tongue. But the official colorway is Cell, Varsity Red, White, and Black. I have seen some retailers drop these early, but I believe Foot Locker has them for November 1st, as well as a few additional spots. These shouldn't be too difficult to obtain if you like them. I know the first colorway of the Air Jordan 40 sold out super fast. They restocked. They sold out as well. It definitely has cooled down a bit since the initial drop, but this is a nice colorway as well. One more thing I forgot to mention, the pair does feature the Wings logo on the medial side, but dropping November 1st for $205. Alright, so we have a couple kids exclusive drops that will take place on the 1st. And the first pair is a recently unveiled pair, and that's the Air Jordan 4 Blue Chill. The shoes feature a photon dust, flat pewter, white, and blue chill colorway. Now, the upper features photon dust. It kind of has like an iridescent look to it. I don't know if it actually does, but in some of these official images, it definitely looks that way. My favorite part about the shoe is the shade of blue chill. I wish they used it a bit more, but unfortunately they didn't. It does outline the Jordan on the tongue label. The tongue label also looks like it's made of chrome. I don't believe it is. It's probably just like a shiny material used. Maybe a nylon tongue label or something of that sort. And then of course they come with the Jumpman on the heel. But this pair will drop on November 1st. The retail price in grade school sizes is $165. Preschool will cost $105. And toddler sizes will cost $90. I shouldn't have said that we have a couple kids exclusive releases for the first, because this next pair isn't a kids exclusive, it's actually a women's exclusive, but they will drop in preschool and toddler sizes as well. But this is the Air Jordan 4 Cozy Girl, also being called Hemp. The official colorway is Hemp in light wood brown. Now, I am seeing quite a few retailers have these, so again, shouldn't be hard to obtain. This pair is known for the fuzzy-like material that's used on the ankle and the tongue. They also feature fuzzy laces. Now, this is a pair that I totally would pick up if they dropped in adult sizing, just because I like the colorway. Granted, I would swap out the laces because I'm not a huge fan of the laces, and I probably would prefer the lack of the fuzzy material on the ankle and tongue, but the color blocking is really dope in my opinion. So again, shouldn't be too difficult to obtain. Now, the only bad part about this pair is the retail price. They will cost $220 in women's sizing. These retail prices for the 4s just keep going up. Preschool will cost $105 and toddler sizes will cost $90. From Jordan Brand, this is probably the first release in November that people are anticipating, they're excited for, and it's the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air. Now, this was supposed to drop in October, but for unknown reasons, they have been delayed until November. This is the final pair part of the Rare Air series, and it does seem that a good amount of people have got this pair early, so I do believe that most retailers have had them in, but for some reason they just decided to delay until November. But typically with Rare Air releases, there's something different. They're inspired by manufacturing flaws. While Jordan down the eyelets isn't necessarily a manufacturing flaw, there were samples created in the early 2000s of different colorways like that. But with the DMP Air Jordan 11, they also created samples with Jordan down the eyelets as well. They did start to produce them, but then there was issues with bleeding, so they decided not to release them. However, they messed up. Some packs did have the pair with Jordan down the eyelets, and those are worth quite a bit of money. So in my opinion, that is what this pair nods to. As far as the colorway goes, it kind of just goes in line as other Rare Air releases. It's kind of like a whole color theme they have. But this pair will drop on November 5th. The retail price in adult sizing is $235, and they're also dropping grade school sizes for $190. Now, so far I've seen a few, well, more than a few retailers that have them on their release calendars, and that includes Finish Line, DTLR, Hibbett, and Snipes. I will say it is good to see that Finish Line and Hibbett will have them. It traditionally means that more pairs will be available. But on the flip side of things, there's not going to be as many pairs as, let's say, the Gamma Air Jordan 11. They're just going to produce a ton of those, or they already have. These should be more limited than those, but I wouldn't classify this shoe as limited, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But it shouldn't be too difficult to get your hands on a pair. I don't know if they'll go on sale or anything like that. Traditionally, 11s don't. I believe the Columbia Air Jordan 11 did at some spots, and that's because the shoe, although a classic and it's OG, a lot of people don't like it because of the amount of white it has. I still think it's a dope shoe. Anyways, dropping on November 5th. Anybody going after them, I would say good luck, but I don't think you need it. But anyways, good luck. Luka has a new colorway of his Jordan Luka 4 dropping in November, and this pair is known as Gone Ranching. A lot of pairs are releasing inspired by the outdoors. I wouldn't necessarily say ranching is the outdoors. I mean, yes, it is, but we've seen Gone Fishing, Gone Camping, and now this is Gone Ranching. I didn't even know Luka was into being a ranch or owning a ranch or anything like that. I don't know the correct term for it. But this pair features a Summit White, Canyon Gold, Black, and Pine Green colorway. They're going to drop on November 5th for $135. Expected to drop on November 7th is the Jason Tatum Jordan Tatum 4 Welcome 2-pack. Now, this pack includes the Jordan Tatum 4 and the Air Jordan 11 Low IE. Now, the reason I say expected to is because we have two locations that will be Nike and Foot Locker. I have yet to see this pair pop up on their release calendar. So unfortunately, I can't confirm this release, but the initial release date was November 7th. And sadly, we haven't received a retail price for them. I tried to do some digging. At the time of recording, I just couldn't find it. Now, this will be a pack. They will be sold together, so expect the retail price to be a bit higher than usual. But yeah, if they're going to drop on November 7th, we should start seeing them on Foot Locker's release calendar, as well as the Sneakers app if that's the route that Nike is taking for this drop. This has got to be either my number 1 or number 2 release in November from Jordan brand. I keep switching between this pair and the Air Jordan 10 Shadow. We had the return of the Air Jordan 12 Taxi. A lot of people are looking forward to this release. It's an original colorway that initially dropped in 1996. The pair also released several times after that. We saw the pair drop in 2008, part of the Countdown Pack series combined with the Air Jordan 11. That release helped celebrate the drop of the Air Jordan 23. And then the last time they dropped was in 2013. Now this will be a pretty big release. No, not as big as the Gamma 11s, but this is definitely considered a GR. There's pretty much every retailer that has a Jordan brand account will have them. Now, I don't think they will be super difficult to obtain on release date, just because the amount of spots that will have them. Yes, they'll sell out on the sneakers app. At least I expect them to. There'll be other spots online as well. If you go into store, it'll be pretty easy to obtain, I think, for the most part. I don't think these are going to go on sale. I could be wrong on that. Just because, for one, it's a classic colorway, and for two, a lot of people like 12s, not just sneakerheads, but outside of that, people who just like a fresh pair of kicks. The Jordan 12 is like a go-to for them. But they will drop on November 8th, and they'll be available in full family sizing. So the retail price in men's is $215, grade school will cost $165, preschool is priced at $105, and toddler sizes will cost $90. This Air Jordan 11 has had a handful of nicknames. Initially being called Cell due to the colorway. I was told initially that they were known as Grand Finale. However, when Jordan Brand did their whole press release on upcoming Air Jordan 11 releases, they called this pair Pearl. That could also be due to the colorway, which is Cell, Pearl Gray, White, and Metallic Silver. Obviously, the Cell nickname is from the colorway as well. Now, the Pearl nickname could also be from the fact that it has like this jewelry, that's what Jordan Brand calls it, that looks like a pearl. I'm not exactly sure what that is, though. Some unique design on it. I'll throw in an image, of course, but like I mentioned, this will be a women's release. It does seem like this pair will be a GR. I have seen them on quite a few release calendars. Finish Line should have them, Foot Locker, and so forth. Now, the pair also comes with ribbon laces. I still haven't seen if there's a second set of laces that the pair will come with. Hopefully it does. But if you like the laces, then you should be good to go. So this pair will drop on November 11th. The retail price in women's sizing is $235. Preschool will cost $105, and toddler sizes will cost $90. Another big release in November is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago. Classic colorway. A lot of people will be trying to go after these, but the good news is that they are expected to be a GR. Again, I have seen quite a few release calendars, or I should say retailers with these, and they're going to drop in the middle of November. So as I mentioned before, this is an OG colorway, but the first time that it was placed on an Air Jordan 1 Low was back in 2016. At the time, it had a larger swoosh, the model did, and now most Air Jordan 1 Low OG colorways, they do feature the larger swoosh. The Zion pair doesn't, but going forward, this will be the new standard, and this has a lot of people happy about that. A lot of people like lows. The hype definitely transitioned from the high to the low, although I feel that overall, the hype has even died on the lows. But even so, this isn't one of those pairs that you can expect to go on sale. I don't think it will. I could be wrong on that though, I'll be honest. Some stuff has surprised me this year. But on the flip side of things, I don't think this will be a super difficult pickup. These will be available at places like Foot Locker, Finish Line, and so forth. Yes, they haven't shown up on Foot Locker's release calendar yet, but they are on Finish Line, they are on DTLR, and a few additional spots. I definitely wouldn't pay resale for these. Even if for some reason all pairs sell out on November 15th, I would expect that a restock would happen. But this pair will drop on November 15th, and they will be available in full family sizing. So men's will cost $145, grade school is priced at $120, preschool will cost $80, and toddler sizes will cost $65. The last pack from the Jason Tatum Jordan Tatum 4 Welcome 2 pack to be released is for London, and they will be released exclusively in London. And the only spot you'll be able to get them at least that's what Nike says, is Bounceware. I know Bounceware has quite a few locations. I would suggest, if you live in London, to go to their website to see which locations there are, or even follow them on Instagram because they'll post which locations will have them. Unfortunately, I don't have a retail price for this pair as well. It hasn't been announced yet. Couldn't even locate it. But on a side note, there's supposed to be 4 packs dropping, but the Shanghai pack will be given to influencers, so they won't have like a traditional release. Now, this is the other pair that I keep bouncing back and forth as my number 1 or my number 2 release from Jordan brand in November. I really like the Air Jordan 12 Taxi, but I really like the Air Jordan 10 Shadow. But finally, the pair will be released. Now, early reports suggested that they could feature the leather overlay on the toe cap. A lot of people are not a fan of that. Yes, the Still 10s did feature it. However, the Shadow 10s won't have that. Obviously, we all know that. Images finally leaked. I did talk about this information in the past, but this is an OG pair, first dropped in 1994. We saw another retro take place in 2008, which was also part of the Countdown Pack series, and the pair was packaged with the Air Jordan 13. The last time we saw this shoe drop was in 2018. Now, since this pair is dropping towards the end of the month, well, closer to the end of the month, I don't think a lot of release calendars have this pair showing. Or they're just not getting them, but I want to leave a little bit of room for that. There is 2 spots I've seen so far that will have them, and that is Chic Shoes and DTLR. So for now, it's kind of looking like the Still 10s. And from what I've saw is all that is dropping is adult sizing. Now that could be updated later, and all they posted was in adult sizing, so they could drop in grade school. I haven't heard anything about it, but then again, I didn't specifically ask. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a few people, and if I find out before I'm done editing this video, I'll put a title on the screen or something just to confirm it or not. But it wouldn't surprise me if these weren't a super GR or anything like that. There's already a ton of stuff dropping in November, but man, this is just a nice shoe. I really hope that more retailers do have them. But this pair is set to drop on November 19th, and the retail price will be $215. Dropping in kid sizing is the Air Jordan 12 Pearl Pink. Now this pair features a pearl pink and medium soft pink colorway, and they look a lot different compared to the early images that were going around. Matter of fact, the upper is more white. In some photos, though, it does look like a very faint pink on the upper, but way different than the dark pink that we were seeing. The color blocking on these are pretty nice, and if you're looking to pick them up, they drop on November 21st. The retail price in grade school sizes is $155, preschool will cost $95, and toddler sizes will cost $80. Alright, this appears to be a little bit of a weird release. This is the Air Jordan 3 Champagne and Oysters. They will also drop exclusively in women's sizing. So we have yet to see a first look at this pair. However, I did see them months back, and the mock-up you're looking at is very, very close to what was expected to release or going to release. Now, I was kind of under the assumption that this pair would be scrapped because we have yet to see a first look. However, this little tool that I have that lets me look at the back end of Nike.com, it does have the pair listed. Now, the only place that actually has stock loaded is China. So that makes me believe that the pair isn't scrapped, we just haven't seen a first look. Now, I have already tried to look for official photos and nothing has popped up. I just checked right now. So I'm going to assume that we will get a first look if they are dropping soon. But if they do wind up releasing, the release date is November 22nd and the retail price is $205. The Air Jordan 11 Regional Pack, which includes 3 pairs for the US, will drop towards the end of November. And the first pair I'm going to talk about is the Air Jordan 11 Mojave, and this is for Las Vegas. Now, the official colorway is Canyon Purple, Off Noir, Violet Dust, and Medium Soft Pink. Now, the purple shade used is a nod to the Las Vegas Red Rocks at sunset, and the materials are a nod to vintage boutiques. The pair also features a reflective Jumpman, and that represents the bright lights of Las Vegas. The pair also has gold on the carbon fiber shank plate. Now, Jordan Brand didn't say this, but it's probably due to gambling or something to do with, all the casinos in Vegas. Now, more importantly, the release info, the pair is scheduled to drop on November 22nd, and the retail price is $250. Now, this pair will be a regional exclusive release, only expected to drop in Las Vegas. Yes, all 3 pairs did a small drop at Complex Con over the weekend, But when they drop on November 22nd, only spots in Las Vegas. Now, I don't know which spots will have them. I hope that as we get closer to the release, Jordan Brand makes an announcement just to make it easier. Otherwise, I'll have to go and track them all down for the upcoming sneaker news video. Also, the retail price is $250. The second pair from the Air Jordan 11 regional pack is $285, and this represents Atlanta. Now, the official colorway is Cell, Off-White, Newsprint, and Sport Royal. The nickname 285 is for the interstate that circles Atlanta. The pair also features a debossed route around the mudguard as a tribute to the interstate. The liner, it looks like it has tie-dye. It has splashes of different colors, and that's said to reflect Atlanta's street art culture. Same as the Mojave, this pair will drop on November 22nd, and the retail price will be $250. Again, they're going to drop exclusively at spots in Atlanta. We don't have the list of retailers just yet, but I will be updating you in a future news video. The last pair from the pack is the Air Jordan 11 H-Town, and this pair represents Houston. This pair features a canvas, metallic silver, summit white, and football blue colorway. Now, the overall colors represent Houston's hustle and the trunk of a car. This is according to Jordan Brand. This pair also features a chrome Jumpman, probably due to rims if I had to guess, since the color palette is for a trunk of a car. Other details includes white accents and blue on the translucent rubber outsole. This pair is my second favorite from the pack, the first being the Mojave, last being the Atlanta pair. But again, dropping on November 22nd, the retail price will be $250. And dropping at spots in Houston, I should have a list of retailers later on in November. For a lot of people, this might be the biggest release in November, and it's the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat. Now, this isn't an OG colorway, but they initially dropped in 2006, and the last time we saw them drop was in 2020. Both of those pairs feature the Jumpman. The 2025 pair will feature Nike Air. Now, I know there's a ton of hype for this shoe, and it goes beyond sneakerheads. I had my nephew hitting me up about these. He's 14. In high school, all his friends want this shoe. I would say my nephew is a sneakerhead now. At first, he was just buying stuff he likes, but now he's like fully into it. A lot of his friends are as well. And then the 2020 release, the whole TikTok craze happened with the shoes, and then they sold out. Eventually, I believe they were sitting for quite some time. And then resale prices have been high on them. I don't know where they're at now, but this would be the pair that I would rather have anyways. I like the Nike Air Edition as well. The shape has been updated. I will say that it's looking good for the amount of pairs that will be released. Yes, they're dropping in full family sizing. Yes, they'll be available at foot sites, boutiques, and on the sneakers app. So there'll be a ton of spots you can go to pick your pair up. Now, out of all the pairs in this video, this would be the one that I highly doubt that they go on sale. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they initially sold out in a couple weeks. Adult sizing. Kid sizing will probably hang around for some time. But either way, I wouldn't pay resale if you miss out, just because this is a shoe that I do believe will have restocks in the future. But scheduled to drop on November 28th, the retail price in adult sizing is $220, grade school costs $165, preschool is priced at $105, and toddler sizes will cost $90. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, just a reminder, as you know, release dates do get moved around, pushed forward or back, and even some get added in. So in the case that it does, I will be updating you in a future news video. As well, I'll update you on the website, sneakerfollows.com. Now, as for releases I'm going after, for Jordan Brand, the Air Jordan 10 Shadow and the Air Jordan 12 Taxi. I'm not a huge fan of the shape of the Air Jordan 12 Taxi, but it is a classic shoe, and overall, I really do like it. You know, I don't own the Black Cat Air Jordan 4. I never thought it was a bad shoe, and I still don't. I just don't see why everybody loves them. Yes, it's simple, it's all black. Maybe I just don't like the simplicity of it. I can appreciate that others like it, though. And then from Nike, it's got to be the FOAMPOSITE Pro Pearl. I really like that shoe. It's a classic, so that's a definite pickup as well. But for November, let me know down below which pairs you plan on picking up. As far as more videos this week, I will be dropping a news video later in the week as well. probably a short over the weekend. But just want to thank everybody for watching. Stay tuned to sneakerfiles.com, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.